The founder of Extinction Rebellion wants to put a bullet in the brains of business owners and politicians. Now, I'm old enough to remember when the NDP wanted these radicals in Alberta schools.
Most days when I get out of bed, I'm saying the people that are culpable are people that run society, run big business, run governments, run the elites.
Okay.
And they are exponentially more culpable to the extent that the climate catastrophe becomes more clear.
Okay, all right.
So 1990, you might as well, give them 6 months in prison now. Maybe you should put a bullet for them.
Okay.
Or rather, someone probably will. If we're going to live or have a substantial probability of living, then we're looking at mass socialistic organisation.
That was a secret recording of the Extinction Rebellion founder Roger Hallam, obtained by blogger Paul Staines at the Guido Fox blog. You heard it for yourself. If you don't take climate change as seriously as Hallam would like, off to the firing squad for you. This is what radical environmentalists really think about us in their most candid moments. They actually want us dead. Extinction Rebellion made itself famous in London in 2019, where over 1,100 arrests were made over the course of 11 days. BBC News reported that their ongoing protest ran a police tab of nearly $13 million. The group blocked the subways and tried to grind the city to an absolute standstill. And in case you didn't think that candid Hallam moment was serious, look at this from just 2 weeks ago in the UK. One of the co-founders of Extinction Rebellion has been detained for 4 weeks before a weekend of planned action. Roger Hallam, 54, of Wandsworth in southwest London, was among 5 people arrested on Monday and charged with conspiracy to cause criminal damage. Extinction Rebellion protests are planned at various locations across the country this weekend before an uprising in London next week. Now, those uprisings, they're going on right now in the United Kingdom. Hallam has also been in the news for downplaying the Holocaust, describing it as just another, quote, effery in the course of human history. If Hallam were a conservative, his organization and the descendants of all those within his organization would be canceled for many generations going forward, but he's a radical, violent, green Marxist. So naturally, our left-wing politicians would like to see his movement near your kids. Let's go back, though, a few months in time. Alberta's Conservative Education Minister, Adriana LaGrange, quite sanely tweeted out an op-ed from the Medicine Hat News, quoting the article verbatim. There is no room in our classrooms for radical activists like Extinction Rebellion, whose demands include shutting down Alberta's oil and gas sector by 2025. To which NDP MLA Janice Irwin responded, Minister Adriana LaGrange, there is absolutely room for the perspectives of groups like Extinction Rebellion in our classrooms, just as there's room for the perspectives of industry. Let me explain why. No, Janice, no. Please, don't explain to parents why violent law-breaking crackpots should be anywhere near our kids in our schools. And please, don't bother trying to compare Extinction Rebellion and their lawlessness and what they do to ethical, job-creating oil and gas that everyone needs to survive here in Alberta, even you, Janice. Just don't. However, Janice, with her excuse-making and her validating radicals, well, she's not alone. Former NDP MLA Rod Loyola was some sort of beatnik poet who once chanted his sadness over the death of Venezuelan monster dictator Hugo Chavez. Just listen.
Long live Hugo Chavez. Long live the values that he stood for. Compañero Presidente Hugo Chavez.
Loyola even hosted a vigil for Chavez, a fact I found buried in an online edition of the Marxist-Leninist Daily. You can't even make this stuff up. The love of left-wing political violence, though, it comes down from the top in the NDP. Leader Rachel Notley has been seen in the legislature wearing a Che Guevara watch, as in every time she checks the time, a mass murderer is staring back at her as part of her fashion choices. The affinity for far left-wing terrorists calling for socialist terrorism and political assassinations, it's more of a feature and not a bug of Alberta's former ruling party, the NDP. Some of them are just more honest about it than others. And aren't you glad these destroyers are on the sidelines now? For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. At Rebel News, it's our mission to tell the other side of the story while still remaining fiercely independent. Now, there are a couple ways that you at home can support us in that mission. The first one is easy. Just like and share our content, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and ring the little bell so you never miss a story. The second is to become a subscriber to Rebel News Plus. Just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe to join today.